Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel again. So we are now down on the last episode of our lesson videos for the first quarter in 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world for the school year 2020 to 2021. Now in the previous discussions, you were able to learn about the different historical periods of Philippine literature, representative texts, various contemporary literary genres, and the context of different literary texts. Now, for our lesson video today, we are now going to explore on how to create a creative representation of a literary text. So, let us now get into the video.
After going through this lesson, you are expected to demonstrate an understanding of a literary text, apply ICT skills in crafting and adaptation of a literary text, and show an appreciation on the use of multimedia to creatively interpret a literary text.
During our previous discussions, you were able to engage yourselves in various literary activities. First, you were able to create your own ambahan poetry with its photograph. Second, you were able to share your thoughts and opinions regarding a flash fiction and a poetry written by contemporary authors. Next, you were also able to create your own hyper poetry with your classmates and groupmates. And the recent one is you were able to analyze the context of different literary texts. So for our lesson video today, you are now going to make your own creative representation of a literary text. We are going to explore the various multimedia platforms and applying ICT skills in interpreting a literary text. Before we identify the different multimedia platforms and the application of ICT skills in interpreting literary texts, let us first unlock the meaning of the word interpret. So what do we mean by this word? When we say interpret, this is to explain the meaning of something, to explain the meaning of an information or of a text or of an idea. So, therefore, in our lesson for today, you are going to explain the meaning or to interpret a literary text through performing one of the following multimedia formats. So, what are they and how do we make them? So, let us now get into the following multimedia formats.
Let us now move on to the multimedia formats in interpreting literary text. Now, let us first define what is multimedia. According to Marshall in 2001, it is defined as computer-controlled integration of text, graphics, drawings, still and moving images or video, animation, audio, and any other media where every type of information can be represented, stored, transmitted, and processed digitally. Now, let us identify the 6 multimedia formats in interpreting literary text. First, we have blog or weblog. It is a website containing informational articles about a person's own opinions, interests, and experiences. These are usually changed regularly. We can write weblogs in the following websites: Twitter, Instagram, Wix site, Tumblr, Facebook, WordPress, and Weebly, and many other websites. So these are the social media platforms wherein you can upload and write your blogs. These are examples of different blogs created by different authors. We have a travel blog, a food, and a fashion blog. Now let us have an example of a blog on Facebook. Usually blogs are created through Facebook pages and they are shared when creating your own insights on your own Facebook page. On the other hand, we can now have our blogs on Instagram by posting pictures and images with captions on it. These are examples of blogs created on Instagram. Next, we have mind mapping. Mind mapping is a graphical technique to visualize connections of ideas and pieces of information. This tool structures information to better analyze, comprehend, synthesize, recall, and generate new ideas. You can use Microsoft Word or online mind mapping tools in creating a mind map. This is an example of mind mapping. Just like what mentioned earlier, mind mapping is showing the connection, the association of words in a particular topic or subject. In this case, the words paper, lines, words, colors, structures, and images were described, and the words related and associated to these words were connected to them. This is another example of mind mapping. It represents an idea about solving global warming. Another mind mapping is this one. Next is mobile phone text tula. Mobile phone text tula is a traditional Filipino poem. A particular example of this poem is a tanaga that consists of 4 lines with 7 syllables, each with the same rhyme at the end of each line. So this is an example of a mobile phone text tula. As we can see, we have here 4 lines with 7 syllables in each rhyme, and this is actually presented in a screenshot of a mobile phone. Another example of mobile phone textula is this one. As you can notice, this is like a rip-off of Ambahan because it also has 7 syllables, but this time it is represented or it is presented in a screenshot form from a mobile phone. Instead of conversations, it shows a 7 syllable with 4 line poetry. Next is the slideshow presentation. This is created with the use of Microsoft PowerPoint. It contains series of pictures or pages of information, or what we call the slides, arranged in sequence and often displayed on a large screen using a video projector. This is an example of a slideshow presentation. Now, the next one is what we call the tag cloud. Tag cloud is a visual, stylized arrangement of words or tags within a textual context, such as website, articles, speeches, and databases. An example of a tag cloud is this one. This is very popular if you wanted to present VATs or to arrange various words in order to show its relationship and association within a larger context. An example of this is this one, which definitely shows different multimedia formats in the tag cloud. It shows the different social media platforms such as Twitter, WordPress, YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. Another example of tag cloud is this one. This shows different ideas such as hobbies and other literary and artistic hobbies like movies, music, reading, photography, computers, books, writing, traveling, sleeping. So it's more of like showing different hobbies. Another and last example for our tag cloud is showing what e-learning is. Instead of simply defining what e-learning is or instead of just writing an essay about it, this one shows what e-learning is by presenting the different words associated on it and arranging it into a tag cloud. Now, lastly, which is a very common multimedia platform, is the video. It is an electronic device used to record, copy, playback, broadcast, and display moving visual media. An example of it is the video you always watch on YouTube when it comes to our lesson videos in our classes. So YouTube is the social media platform very commonly used by vloggers, or usually vlogs or video blogs are uploaded in YouTube. Now, have you now chosen which multimedia format would you like to try to make creative representation of a literary text? For your activity, you are going to read Hindi Ko Alam by De Los Santos Carl Gabriel B. This is considered the 2015 Don Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for Literature. It won the first prize in Kabataan Sanaysay category. So what are you going to do? You have to form groups with members of 3 to 10. So you may use your hyper poetry activity groups. You have to read the text. You have to choose one multimedia format among the 6 types, and you have to give your interpretation and understanding of the text through illustrating your ideas and thoughts using any of the multimedia formats.
So I hope by now you already have your ideas or you already have your plans on what to make for your creative representation of a literary text. So you may now choose from any of the following as your creative representation. So you just need to choose one from these media formats, and you have to read the text in order to make your own meaning or to give the meaning of this literary text through creating these formats. So that's it for our lesson video today. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I hope to see you again next in my class. So have a great day and bye!